Hello, this is Frances Herdis, and on the night from the 26th to the 27th of December, you'll be in the second rough or holy night, which is all about awakening your inner strength and reconnecting with your intuition. Have you ever heard that quiet voice right before making a decision or while being in certain situations, and that inner voice talks to you and gives you an insight, and then a few seconds afterwards all the loud voices come, all the doubts, all the pros and cons you're weighing in your thoughts, and maybe voices from other people who want to lead you afar from your inner voice. Have you ever felt or heard your inner voice right before making a decision? And then you decided otherwise? The beauty of us humans is that when we make decisions or decide with all our heart, there are three parts of ourselves that have to be in alignment in order for us to be happy and in order for us to feel 100% certain about that decision. And that is your brain, your thinking process. When you think a decision is logical, it makes sense, and then you follow your heart, of course. When you make a decision and your heart opens, your heart's joy is really there, then you know you've made the right decision. And then as a third component, you have your gut feeling. Your gut feeling is a very fine guide. For example, if you made a good decision, you feel the joy and you feel the relaxedness in your gut, in your belly as well. But if there's something dangerous, you immediately feel how your gut is sending you danger signals. Sometimes you feel a little bit sick or you don't have your appetite anymore in that situation. Also, when you make decision without your heart's joy, then it might immediately close your heart. It's like an iron fist around your heart, and it really closes you up. Have you ever had that feeling? Or in your mind, it might not make sense at all. So in order for you to be happy with decisions you make and in order to follow your intuition, all three parts have to be in alignment. So from now on, observe when you make decisions. What does your head say? What are you thinking about it? Does it make sense? How does your heart feel? Does it open up and feel the joy already? What does your gut say? Do you have a good gut feeling about that? In this video, I'll guide you through an exercise, a little meditation on how you can really become quiet in order for you to reconnect and to listen to that inner voice that is often guiding you very wisely before all the loud voices come, or all the voices from the outside. And then I'll also show you 3 fragrant applications, because you know I always show you things in a fragrant way because it's so much more fun. It connects you with yourself, with your feelings, and when it comes to your inner voice, essential oils really help you to calm down, to quiet your mind and to really focus. And then, of course, the second rough or holy night stands for the month of February. So I'll guide you through the goals you can write down for the coming February. First of all, reconnecting to your inner truth. There's an oil for that, of course, and that oil, the first fragrant application, is with Cistus. It's also called Rose of Sharon, and it's the fragrance of your vision and of your inner truth. And I also showed you the power of questions in the first holy night in the last video. And when you compare just making affirmations, which you might not fully believe in, and then your subconscious unconsciously fights against that affirmation and it doesn't come true, instead of that, you can ask questions. So for each fragrant application, I also give you a powerful question that you can just write down. And you don't have to write down the answer immediately, just ask the question. And your subconsciousness is wired to answer it in some way. It might be that in the second holy night, you ask yourself a certain question, And then in the following hours, during the night, you have a dream which reveals the answer, or the following day, you get into a situation or somebody reveals something to you that is your answer. And in that moment, you will feel that it's your answer. With your head, with your heart, and with your gut feeling, they will align and show you the way. So, sisters, you can apply it on your hand and then apply it on your third eye, because your third eye is for your vision, for looking forward, and also seeing the bigger picture. And you also apply it on your spiritual heart, because following your heart's truth, that's so important in order to open up your heart for the joy of life. Sisters, the questions you can ask with that, because it guides you very far inside. The question you can ask, and please write it down in your Holy Nights journal: where or in which situations in the last year should you have listened to your inner voice? Is there any situation in the last months, in the last 12 months, where you made a decision going completely against that little inner voice, where you completely knew, oh, this would have been the way, but somebody else convinced me otherwise, or I didn't listen to my intuition, the first sign that was given to me? So, is there any situation in the last 12 months where you didn't listen to your inner voice? And this question is not to make you regret your choices or to be hard on yourself, because that doesn't serve you in any way. However it comes, however you decided, whether it was against your inner voice, against your intuition, or whether you went with it with all your heart, with your gut feeling and with your thinking, whatever decision you made, it's for your learning experience, even if it went against your intuition, and you probably learned something from that. If you see life like climbing up and down the mountains, sometimes you have to climb down or even fall down very low in order for you to climb up again. So sometimes we really hit rock bottom in order for us to be totally annoyed or to totally want to change something. And sometimes that moment has to come first before we start listening to our inner voice again, before we start to follow our own inner truth again. I'll give you an example from my personal life. I studied medicine for 6 years, and but when I was halfway through the studies, I started my own business, and it grew so successful that I could completely live from that. So I knew in my heart this would be the way, and I wouldn't need the medical studies anymore. I didn't want to become a doctor anymore in order to help people improve their lives. I have found a more natural, a different way. And in my heart, deep down, I knew it. I knew what my path was. But about 1.5 years, in my head I was thinking, and I heard different voices from people in my surroundings, and I continued studying even though I knew, oh, this isn't for me, I already chose my path. So it took me 1.5 years to really not listen to those voices of doubt or voices that wanted to lead me on the medical path again. All kinds of doubts and all kinds of advice from people around me. And the moment I went with all my heart, that moment I really remember it when I was sitting on the train on my way to university. I knew that I was wasting my time because there were so many more important tasks to do for helping people improve their lives, which I do until now. And that moment I made a decision to end the studies, and that was like one of the happiest moments of my life, because it freed so much of that trapped energy of the doubt and going here and there and my thinking and going to uni and then going back to the business. And from that moment on, when I went in with all my heart, I really felt the joy, and I still feel it till today. So maybe you don't have such a grave or important decision to make right now, but just to give you an example, how you feel when your intuition, when your inner voice takes over. Your heart opens up for the joy and you know you're in the right path. Your gut feeling also becomes joyous, and in your head it makes complete sense. So this is one example to follow the intuition, to follow your inner voice. And Sisters is the fragrance of vision and of your inner truth. And the question really is, in which situations in the last 12 months didn't you follow your intuition? In which situations did you rather listen to your doubts or to other people's advices? You know, other people, they often know something about us and they want to give their best opinion or best advice, but you really have to feel it, if it's your truth, if it's your path, and if it belongs to your greater vision. And you know, the most interesting thing I discovered, of course, my parents, they wanted me to finish studying medicine, because of course parents always want the best for their children, and they want them to have a degree or to be successful, to be happy in life. And what I realized was, the moment they saw that I was completely happy with what I was doing, that moment they fully accepted my decision. And they stopped talking about it or trying to convince me otherwise. And that's so amazing. That moment you follow your inner truth and your intuition, and it feels good for you. Everything around you aligns with that, because we are always connected to other people, and of course they feel when you are happy with something, when you have really followed your inner voice and you have the full integrity and authenticity with your decision. So just a little example to inspire you with that. Use Sisters to reconnect with your inner truth. If you had people around you who were distracting you or talking badly or trying to tear you down, or if you yourself talked of yourself in a bad way or you weren't your own best inner coach, then Sisters can help you to follow your inner truth again and to follow your greater vision. And like I mentioned in the first video, I always give you 3 different fragrant applications and giving you insights into the specific topics. And if you resonate with something in a special way, or you feel that inner resistance and you know deep inside, yeah, this is my topic, I know I might resist at the moment, but yeah, maybe I should go down that path. The moment you feel that kind of resonance or resistance, make a circle around that oil, around that application, or a star, and that should be the application you start with on the 1st of January to do your first 30-day application of the year. For example, if you haven't been following your inner truths for some time over the last 12 months, and you know you feel not very satisfied with what you're doing, and you really want to open up to that inner voice, to your intuition again, then Sisters can be a powerful first 30-day application for your January. And of course for the second Holy Night. The second fragrant application, because following your vision, awakening your inner strength, is also about unfolding your wings and daring to be your highest self, daring to unfold your highest potential. So the second fragrant application I'm showing you is with an oil blend called Highest Potential. It's one of my favorite fragrances. I don't use perfumes anymore. I have never really used them because they always gave me a headache, too many synthetic chemicals in there. So in order to surround myself with those fragrances of paradise and to ground myself and balance myself, I use therapeutic grade essential oils. So use Highest Potential as a natural fragrance behind your ears and here on your throat as well, and on your throat chakra and on your heart chakra. And if you want to really unfold your wings and your highest potential in the new year, start with the second Holy Night, the night from the 26th to the 27th of December, and start applying Highest Potential as a fragrance in the morning before you leave the house, before you start your day. Always have it in your handbag when you go out, and whenever you don't smell it on you anymore, just refresh that fragrance around you. And at nighttime, right before you go to bed, apply highest potential again, and you can even physically unfold your wings, unfold your arms, and really feel into that highest potential. There's a special video I made about highest potential. You can find it on my website livefragrantly.com/highest potential. That was on the beautiful island of Kauai, Hawaii, and it's really a beautiful spot, and I talk about the variety of oils which are in highest potential and the further applications that you can do with it. So unfolding your wings, you always have your highest potential within you. You don't need something from the outside, you don't need another person to unfold it. You always have it within you, in all parts of your being, especially in your cellular consciousness. There's like a construction plan, how your perfect wellness is, how you feel holistically as a whole being, how you feel happy, how you feel connected. And awakening your highest potential is really about remembering the inner strengths you have within you. I know quite a few top athletes who use highest potential right before their workout or right before competition, because you can use highest potential to really awaken your highest potential physically before doing sports, before having an exam, just for your physical highest potential. And then you can also use it for your emotional highest potential. And there's an interesting question whenever you get into a situation where that leads to an argument or that leads to you behaving badly emotionally and you regret it afterwards. Apply highest potential and ask yourself, is this really the highest form of participation I can give to this situation? Is this the highest form of being that I can offer to that other person? And that moment, many times you get aware of the highest potential of the balance and the emotional well-being which is always within you. And then you can use highest potential, of course, in your meditation and yoga to raise your highest potential spiritually. And the question you can ask with highest potential for the coming 12 months, not only for February, but for the coming 12 months, that is, in which situations can I really unfold my highest potential much more than I have ever done before? Where can I unfold my wings? Where can I unfold my highest potential in a way that I've never done before? Where or in which situations can I give more? Where can I receive more? And again, it's not about answering these questions, but just apply the oil, let it take its effect, and then during the night you might dream about the solution, or during the following hours, the following days, somebody can show you and it just resonates with you. Have you ever had that experience that you were looking for a solution to some problem, or you were asking yourself something, and then suddenly somebody comes into your life and just verbalizes that answer? And it's like a click within you. It's like, oh wow, you just revealed my answer. In that way, sometimes the answers are presented to us. And when you have an open mind, an open heart, then you are able to receive that, just like listening to your inner voice. Then the third fragrant application for the second holy night is sandalwood. Sandalwood, I'll show you a little meditation with that as well. With sandalwood, you have to be patient until it comes out of the bottle. Yes, and there the drop forms. In the German video, it took like a full minute, I think, until the drop came out of the bottle. And here's a little secret on how to apply essential oils. Some people, they just pour it like that and then 10 drops come out, or they pour it like that and say, oh, you stupid oil, come out. And do you remember how I revealed to you in the first video how big a part your intention plays when it comes to essential oils. I showed you the water experiments of Masaru Emoto and how the beautiful or the chaotic crystals formed, and how essential oils carry your intention even in a finer way. So whenever it takes a little bit longer, just be grateful, just thank the plant for being there for you and giving you the qualities and the strengths it has. Apply sandalwood to your higher chakras, on your third eye, on your crown chakra, on your throat chakra. The throat chakra is very important for carrying your message out into the world. It stands for creativity and also bringing your vision into the world in an artistic sense, in a verbal sense, or you might be singing, you might be speaking somewhere, and that really helps you to get that message out. Then, of course, apply sandalwood on your heart chakra. Sandalwood guides you to that space of inner calm, of inner harmony that you need in order to meditate, that you need in order to listen to your inner voice, to calm yourself down and to really be quiet, to cut out all the noise from the thinking, from other people, emotional noise, and to really be there with yourself in that quiet space. So take a few breaths with sandalwood. And if you have a hard time really becoming quiet, here are 3 ways how you can really learn to focus, learn to become quiet, leading you directly into a state of meditation when you practice it. So if you have a hard time calming down your inner voice and really being quiet, start with a 30-day application of sandalwood. And there are 3 ways you can quiet your mind. The first way is when you put a candle at arm's length in front of you and you focus for 3 to 5 minutes on the top of the candle and you really focus on it and you throw all of the thoughts you have into the candle flame and burn them. You might be able to do that for a minute in the beginning. It's all a thing of practice. And when you do it for 30 days in the morning and in the evening, then you can really quiet your mind. And you will be astounded at how much better you can focus in your work as well, how much more present you will be, and how you awaken your inner happiness just by becoming quiet. The second way you can quiet your mind is when you put a beautiful flower, your favorite flower, at arm's length in front of you, and you set up that quiet space for just being with yourself, which you don't use for anything else than your meditation or yoga, and you put that beautiful flower there at arm's length, and you focus on the beauty of the flower. And whenever thoughts come, you just let them go by, just like the clouds in the sky. And the third way to quiet your mind and really raise your consciousness is when you have a picture of a spiritual master, of an enlightened being. Just like Buddha, just like Jesus, there are many awakened spiritual masters. And by that I don't mean the self-called gurus, which jump out everywhere, like mushrooms. At least that's the saying in German. But masters, spiritual masters who really raise your consciousness, where you feel the joy in your heart, where you feel the vastness in your being, and where you feel the peace in your mind. And you can concentrate on such a picture for a few minutes every morning and every evening, and you really enter into the consciousness of the spiritual master. That's one way to do it. If you have a favorite spiritual master, you can really raise your consciousness with that. And those are 3 ways to calm your mind and to raise your consciousness. And the moment you quieten yourself, the moment you really become quiet up here, that's the moment where you can enter into meditation. And that's the moment where you can hear your inner voice again, where you can calm your thoughts. And it's also a wonderful meditation, a wonderful exercise right before going to sleep. You know why many people don't fall to sleep that easily, because many times they are occupied with the things from the day or of the coming day. They have been working until late and then they are still in the project, thinking and being active. Another thing is also when we have the lights too bright before going to sleep, then it signalizes our eyes that it's bright daylight. And what does the body do when it's bright daylight? Of course, it gives you the full energy. So just tune down the lights half an hour before you go to sleep. Just put up that candle, do the concentration exercise, and then you will see you will have a perfect night's sleep because you calmed down your mind and that allowed you to relax your body right before going to sleep. And when you do those meditations in the morning, they will give you the energy to start the day off in the right consciousness and also be fully present during the day. And that you can do with sandalwood because it helps you to become very quiet and to connect to your spiritual self again. So these are the 3 fragrant applications you can do. The second holy night, which is in the night from the 26th to the 27th of December, is all about awakening your inner strength, connecting with your intuition and with your higher vision. And now I'll guide you through how you can consciously create your goals and your intention for the month of February, because the second holy night stands for the month of February. So that's so special about the holy nights, or the rough nights like it's called in German, Rauhnächte, the rough nights. They are like a portal giving you access to those special topics, where otherwise you might be too busy or you might not have that access to those special topics. So take out your Holy Nights journal and write down for the month of February, how do you want to feel in February? In the morning when you wake up, how do you want to feel? Joyful, relaxed, energized, healthy, full of energy? How do you want to feel during the day in February? What are your goals for February? What kind of projects do you want to start? Which projects do you want to finish? And what are your financial goals for February? Like I told you in the first video of the first Holy Night, you can use the magic check from the universe, which you find on The Secret website, which is, by the way, a very good book as well, The Secret. And you can print out the magic check, and when you set your financial goals for the coming year, each Holy Night stands for 1 month of the year, and the second Holy Night is for February, so print out that check and write down your financial goals. And then also write down your fun goals, your relationship goals. Who are the people who you wish to be surrounded by in the month of February? How much fun do you want to have? How do you want to feel during that month? And what do you want to accomplish? Write it down in as much detail as you can, just like the top athletes who go through the competition many times. Just visualize how the month of February unfolds before your inner eye, just like a movie. And you are writing the script for your own life movie for the month of February in the special second Holy Night. And you know, your brain cannot distinguish between something that you lively imagine and something that really happens. Now, this can go both ways. One way would be that you do a lot of self-fulfilling prophecies and always reminding yourself mentally and emotionally of all the bad things that can happen. And in the end, when you've been so fearful so many times, or when you've had doubts so many times, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you actually attract that thing you fear the most or you doubt the most into your life. Have you ever had that happen before? And the other way this goes is when you joyfully already visualize how you've already accomplished that. Feel the joy of that goal you set for February, the moment you have reached it. You can even talk about it in the past tense, that feeling, how it feels once you have already reached it. Or to upgrade your language, my language, that feeling of joy. Oh my God, I reached it. Really feel it in every cell. Now that I've reached it. So, and another little secret about goal setting, when I write down numbers, because goals have to be as specific as possible, when I write down numbers, I always add a plus to the numbers if it's financial goals, because I don't want to limit myself by setting too low a goal. And I always put a plus, or I always put the expression or even higher, or even better, or even more. And then, of course, there are goals in your life which are fulfilled, and some goals are not fulfilled. You've probably experienced that as well. That's why I often add the expression when I write down my goals, for the highest good of all, or for the highest good of everyone. Because some goals you might have, or some desires you might have, might not lead you to your highest potential. And then the universe, or God, or whatever your worldview is, protects you from these goals. And they don't become true, and you might doubt already, oh, everything I wish for, it doesn't come true anyway. But in reality, when you look through the past 12 months, what have you been saved from by a few goals that didn't manifest? What did you save in experience, or in time, or emotional energy? So always add to the highest good of all, or to the highest good of everyone. Those are little secrets in goal settings. Otherwise, write them down as detailed as possible and imagine them as lively as possible. I always remind myself of the feeling. I set the goal for February, for example, which corresponds to the second Holy Night, and then I just close my eyes and I imagine how I am right now at the end of February, and I've reached that goal, and I go fully into that feeling. Oh my God, just imagine, I just realized that goal. And you probably feel the joy through the video, and because we always connect emotionally and energetically as well. So go into that kind of joy, like a little child at Christmas, when they get their favorite present. And it's like a magical world, and that child just has so much joy. And to the person who has so much joy and gratitude in fulfilling their goals, or in getting their wishes, the universe gives more. Because what's the most fun in giving gifts? When the other person is so grateful and so joyful. So practice in gratitude, and also practice that visualization and really feeling into that joy now that you have already accomplished that goal. Use the 3 oils for the second Holy Night to really connect you to your inner strengths, to connect you to your inner voice and your intuition, also to your higher selves who instantly knows what's best for you and your spiritual evolution as well. You can use Sisters as a fragrance of your vision and inner truth. You can use Highest Potential to unfold your wings on the different levels, and you can use Sandalwood to quiet down your thinking and to really enter into that quiet and peaceful state, and do one of the 3 meditation exercises I gave you for that. And then in your Holy Nights journal, write down your goals as specific as possible for the month of February. And if you don't have the oils there, you can get them on my website, livefragrantly.com. You can also send me a message and I'll send you a fragrant letter. And I wish you a lot of fun with your goals and with going through the topics of the second Holy Night. Please let me know your experiences here in the chat box. I'm really curious what you have already experienced with the first Holy Night and with the 2 preparation days, because this is video number 4 of this series. let me know here in the comments or by a message, because I just love to hear from you what you experience, what your insights were, and how you use this wonderful, this magical creative process to write the script of your life and feel the joy in living it. I'll see you tomorrow at midnight Central European Time again. We'll go through the third Holy Night. I wish you a lot of fun in discovering all these things, and I wish you a lot of peace and inner joy with the meditations I gave you. Alright, see you tomorrow. Have fun!